Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another flow. I'm still nursing a dislocated elbow, however, I'm out of my sling, which is exciting. So today's class will be a hands-free, wrist-free flow. And you might really enjoy that. And I'm also going to give you options for those of you who want to put your hands on the floor. You can frame your mat with a couple of blocks. I'll give you options to play on your hands today as well. I wanted to invite you today to start in a meditation. So if you want to put a blanket underneath your hips, I really appreciate a little height underneath my hips so my legs don't fall asleep. And we'll be here, give or take 3 to 5 minutes. So find your comfortable seat. You can let your shoulders roll up, back, and down. And you might tuck your chin a couple of degrees. And today's meditation, I'll invite you to become more intimate with your senses as a way to bring you onto your mat, to land right here in this moment, to be a bit more present with what's happening right now. So you're welcome to close your eyes. All those preferences that you might have with your eyes, you can soften that. And relax around your ears. Can you relax around your jaw hinge? Maybe even relax into the ear canal and imagine it widening and opening. If you drew a line in between your ears, could you relax into the center of your skull? Let that relaxation radiate out to your cranium. And notice what you hear with your ears. You might notice the sound of your own breath. You might notice sounds inside of your space in this room. I'm noticing my oven is on, getting ready to bake my zucchini. You might notice sounds outside of your space. I'm really hearing spring come alive outside. Take a moment to notice sound. And then you can open your eyes if you like, and with childlike wonder, what do you see? And I like to do this with my hand on my chest to keep my chest fairly still as I move my neck, letting my eyes take in my surroundings. Maybe turning my head so much that I can look behind me. And that movement for your neck could influence the spaciousness around your vagus nerve, which is the main nerve for your parasympathetic system, so that healing system, rest and digest. And what do you see? I'm going to ask you to find something that you like to look at. I'm noticing some flowers my partner gave me right now. What is it in your space that you can let your eyes rest on, that you delight in looking at? Maybe you're looking at something like it's the first time you've seen it. And you can come back to center and let your eyes close if you like. Coming into, what do you feel? What do you feel right now? Could be your hands touching your legs. Maybe you're feeling the way that your pelvis is situated in relation to the earth and the sky. You might feel the ground underneath you. Can you locate a pleasant feeling inside? What about an unpleasant feeling? What about something more neutral? And you can keep your eyes open or closed for this one. But what do you smell? What's the smell that you are noticing right now? And if you're congested or you're sick, you might bring to mind a smell that you really love. I can really smell my nettle shampoo. And lastly, is there any taste in your mouth? What do you taste? Noticing that. And again, you might not taste anything. There might be some lingering coffee there, toothpaste, your last meal, or perhaps you bring to mind something that you love to taste. And another option is to think of one thing you're grateful for. So take a breath in, let your shoulders rise up around your ears. Your breath out, let them drop. And you can shift, maybe through a tabletop if you like, through a down dog, or come right up to standing with me. Spreading your toes, finding Tadasana. If you want to make some sound, you might take your hands together at your chest, let a breath come in, breath come out. Inhaling for Om. Inhale there, let your exhale happen, and then rise up on your tippy toes and start to look a little bit up. You can open your arms up like a cactus arm or maybe a Y. See if you can balance with a little bit of thorax extension, upper back bend. And then we'll start to close that up. You can take your hands together at your chest and come into a tippy toe squat. See if you can engage the muscles at the back of your knees and relax the muscles that go over the fronts of your knees as you come to a squat. Yeah, and you can lift your hips a little bit. Here's a tricky movement. You might want to use your blocks or your fingers on the floor, where we take our right leg forwards. Your heel could tap on the ground or not. And you'll have to move your block here. Bring it all the way back so that your back knee drops to the floor, almost like you're in a 90-90 lunge. Then from here, go back so you're sitting on your back tuck toe, and then come forwards into your low lunge. So you can go back, let your left toes pop up, go forwards into that low lunge. One more time, back you go, and then forwards into that low lunge. Then we'll tuck the back toes, come up into our crescent. So you can bring your arms up. Let's cactus our arms, bend our elbows, and then squeeze shoulder blades together. Drag your shoulder blades down your back. Round forwards, and you can kind of bend your back knee as you do that. Rise your arms up back into cactus. Squeeze your shoulder blades together, a little upper back bend as you draw your elbows down. One more time, forwards, get a big round, and then get a big arch as you cactus squeeze your shoulder blades down your back. And then we're gonna open up into Warrior Two. Beautiful. So from Warrior Two, reverse that warrior. That might be a breath in. And then come into triangle. So straighten your front leg. You could take a block here. Come into your triangle form, right arm up. Back into Warrior Two. Open up your left armpit. And then into your triangle. Squeeze your inner feet together to find some stability through your center. Triangle. Back into Warrior Two, reverse. And then into your triangle. This time as you come up, parallel both feet to the right side of your mat and fold forwards into a wide-legged forward fold, Prasarita-Padottanasana. You can take your hands to your waist, or your hands to the floor. Some of you might want to play here with a tripod headstand or a forearm balance press handstand, whatever you like. Taking a breath in. Taking a breath out. And then walk forwards to have your fingertips on the floor. Turn your right toes a little out, your right knee a little out to the right. Flip your left toes up and start to come into a skandasana squat. So if you're really high with your hips, option to take a couple of blocks here or one and sit down like that in your skandasana squat. Some of you might sink all the way down. Yeah. So wherever you are, your left hand can come down your left leg and you can get a big side bend away from your bent right knee. Some of you might hold your left shin and get a big side bend over your left long leg. Come all the way up from that. Nice. And then how does it feel? I'm going to lower onto one block here to start to drop your right inner knee to the floor and then bring it back up. 3 times is our pacing here. So drop it down and then bring it back up. Now drop it down and stay there if you like. Start to fold over your left leg. So you can drop it down, round, and come back up. 2 more times. Drop it down into a forward fold and come on back up. 1 more time like that. Drop it down and come back up. So you might have a block underneath or not. I'm going to ask you to take that front left leg into external rotation so you're in a Z sit or a 90-90. Yeah, but bring your feet a little closer in together towards your body and point your toes. And then come up and open up the front of your hips. So you could do this in your cactus arm or a Y. Some of you could take a right hand behind and come into almost like a camel back bend. And then slowly come down, tap your sit bones to the block or the seat. Pointed toes, let's do it 2 more times. Up and lower. And up. And lower. Beautiful. Now let's take that left knee a little forwards and you can use your hands on the floor to take your back foot into a pigeon. You can use your hands, your blocks, whatever you've got to slowly lower down and then come back up. High pigeon, low pigeon, lower down. You could exhale into that. Come back up for 2. Press your back set of toes into the floor. Engage your back leg as you come down and back up. Okay, now draw your back knee in, back into that Z sit, and straighten your left leg forwards again. Now you have a couple of options. You can start to straighten that back leg back with the inner foot on the floor. Some of you might roll into more of a hanuman asana. So that could look like a little bit further hips away from the floor or a little bit closer towards the floor. If you like here, you can lower down, come back up. Then we'll draw that back leg in with the inner foot on the ground. Take the front leg back into that Z sit and then circle your right leg all the way around so you're crossing at your shins, your ankles, or you can stack your shins there. And we'll lower down, come back up. 1, lower down, come back up for 2, lower down, come back up for 3. And then let's cross at our ankles and our knees close to our body. And how does it feel to stand up like this? You could use your hands on the floor or not. Press into the outer edges of your feet, stand up, and then stamp your feet to the floor. Stick your butt out and start to slide down into a forward fold with your legs crisscrossed, right leg in front of the left. Take a breath in there. Take a breath out. Let's come all the way up to stand. You could rise your arms up, let your hands come to your chest. And then if you're a bit further on your mat like me, walk to the front of your mat into mountain. And notice one thing you hear. Okay, high up onto your tippy toes. Cactus your arms. See if you can look up. Arch your upper back. So beautiful. Maybe look right up. And then center that out and slowly lower into your tippy toe squat. You could try to relax the front of your knee, engage the back side of your knee. Now you can use your fingers on your blocks. I'm just gonna grab mine, or fingertips on the floor, or no hands. Let your left leg come forwards, heel to the ground, and sweep it around back behind you so you drop that back knee and you're more like in a 90-90 lunge. Shift forwards, shift back, right toes come up. 2 more times, shift forwards, shift back. Onto that back left tucked toe. Shift forwards, shift back. Shift forwards, beautiful. And then shift back and tuck your back set of toes. Rise up to your high crescent. Arms can come up. Cactus your arms 3 times, arching into an upper back bend. And then you can bend your back knee and round forwards as your arms rise up by your ears. Bend your elbows, squeeze your shoulder blades down your back. Upper back bend. Round forwards, get into your hip flexor. Last one, upper back bend. So good. Take your back foot on a wide angle, find your warrior 2. Reverse that warrior. And we're coming into triangle, so squeeze your inner legs together as you come into your triangle form. Bend your knee, warrior to reverse. That could be a breath in. And then exhale your triangle form. Bend your front knee, reverse your warrior. And then back into your triangle form. Coming all the way up through center, parallel your feet to the left side of your mat. Forward fold. This is your opportunity to play on your hands. There might be a tripod, headstand, or a forearm balance or handstand. Whatever you like. Your breath in and out. And then come up onto your fingertips, halfway lift. Turn your left set of toes, your left knee out, your right toes up, and you can take a block or 2 and come into your Skandasana squat. Some of you might also have your left tippy toes up. And then a big side bend. So right hand down, take your left arm over. Some of you might take your right hand to hold your left shin, pull on it, and side bend. There's my zucchini coming all the way back up there. Then we can turn towards the right leg and let that left knee drop down to the earth and come back up. Let's do it 2 more times. Left knee drops down to the earth and it comes back up. 1 more time, drop it down. It's okay if your left sit bone is lifted, and then we'll fold over our long right leg. Round to come up. Fold with a bit of a back arch. Yeah, and then round to come up, sit bones to earth. 1 more time. Arch in, lengthen, and lower. Drop your sit bones round and rise up. And then we'll take our front leg into that Z sit, point our toes, draw our feet a little closer in, and then push into our shins and come up. So you can use your hands or not for that movement. Hips a little forwards, upper back bend a little open, and decelerate the lower. Tap the ground. You can come back up. Some of you might take your left hand behind, get a little camel variation, and slow lower down. Or option to not use your hands and come up into that cactus arm or Y. And slow lower your way down. Right knee a little forwards, back leg like a pigeon. Come up into that puffy chested pigeon. And then fold forwards. You can use your hands or not. Come on up, back of your sit bones sink to the earth, and forwards, kiss the earth. There's 100 ways to kiss the earth, right? Is that what Rumi said? Come on up, open your chest. Or maybe it's 1,000, slow, lower. All the way up. Back leg comes in, into that inner leg rotation. Right leg comes forward. So you could stay here and do your down and ups, Or you could stretch out that back leg so that you're on the inner foot. See how that feels on the back of your pelvis. You can always use blocks or slip a block underneath your right hip for more of a hanuman. Press out through your back, big toe, lower down, and come back up. And then we'll take that back knee in again, front leg into the Z sit. You can slide your heel on the floor or bring that back leg all the way around, cross at your shins, your ankles, or pile your shins on top of each other 3 times, lower and lift. 1, 2, lower, use your hands or not, and lift. Introducing your nervous system to these big stretches, and activate your legs so that there's a bit of muscular action when you stretch. Come on up. So nice, cross right at your ankles, knees in. You can use your hands or not. How would it feel to stand up like that? Pressing into your outer feet. Stamp your big toe down, stick your bum out a little bit and start to forward fold in this crisscross. Take a breath in there. Take a breath out. Come all the way up. You can take your arms up. Parallel your feet and step towards the front of your mat into mountain. Take a moment there. You could take your hands together in prayer and notice one thing that you see. I see some buds, some spring buds. Okay, one more time. I'm going to invite you now to do this sequence without the use of your hands, or use your hands if you want to. It's a little more challenging. So up onto your tippy toes, arc your upper back, maybe look up. Free dive forwards, bend your knees, come into your tippy toe squat. Slow motion there. Can you take your right foot forwards and hover it? Right leg without touching the floor, maybe back knee down, and then hips over the back, set of tucked toes, fold forwards, left toes up, sink forwards into your low lunge. Again, forward fold, use your hands or not. Low lunge, open up the front of your right hip. Back you go. And forwards you go. Tuck your back set of toes if it's not already. Lift yourself up, arms up. Cactus your arms, upper back bend. Cactus arms in crescent. Round, tuck tailbone to head, arms forwards and up. Arch. Squeeze your shoulder blades down your back. Round, forwards and up. Arch. Come to neutral. Warrior 2, facing the right side of your mat. Reverse your warrior. Triangle. 2 more times. Reverse your warrior. Triangle. Squeeze your inner feet together. Reverse your warrior. And triangle. As you come up, parallel your feet to the right side of your mat. Forward fold, wide-legged forward fold. Maybe a handstand play here. Maybe a little shift side to side with your hips. Maybe you notice one thing that you see. Come on up a little bit. Turn your right set of toes out, your right knee. Come into your skandasana squat. Maybe your hips come right to the ground. Side bend. You can hold your left shin with your right shin with your left hand and find a side bend. You might encourage your right knee to move away from your chest. Come on up. Right knee taps the floor, internal rotation of that right leg. Open it back up. Maybe open it beyond that parallel or perpendicular to the ground. Tap and open. Maybe open it a little more. Come onto the outer part of your foot. Tap and go right to the end range of that external rotation there. Tap, turn yourself towards your left leg, forward fold. Come on up. You can take your arms up if you want. Forward fold. Root your right sit bone to the earth, the lifted one in internal rotation. Come on up. Sink that right sit bone. Come on up. Come to neutral. Bring that left leg into your Z sit or 90-90. Point your toes. Bring your feet more in. Come on up. Your camel variation. Slow lower. Decelerate the lower. Tap your hips. Come on up. Lower that big, beautiful upper back bend one more time. Come on up. So nice. Slow lower, moving into your pigeon, left leg forwards, right leg back. Puffy chested pigeon, you can make the sound. Forward fold, kiss the earth or tap your nose to the floor. Come on up. Thank the earth. For zucchinis, come on up. And forward fold, such a strong left hip. Yeah, let's bring the back leg into our 90-90. Left leg straightens forwards. Feel free to fold forwards from there or start to open up your back leg, use your blocks. Or you could do this without your hands if you want. It's a little more challenging to roll your back knee to the floor, your back set of toes to the floor into your hanuman asana. Puffy chest. Fold forwards. Come on up. Back knee in, front foot into 90-90, here you go. You can try floating that back leg to bring it all the way around to crisscross at your ankles, your shins, or stack your shins. Fold forwards. Come on up for one. Fold forward. Some of you might even want to interlock your hands behind you. Come on up for two. Fold forwards. Come on up for three. Cross at your ankles, strong outer part of your feet. Come on up, pressing into that, squeezing your inner feet together, then root your big toes. You can bring your arms up, buttocks back, start to forward fold, round through your low back, eventually mid back, upper back, your crisscross forward fold. What happens if you press your big toe a little more into the earth and think about lifting your inner legs right up into your pelvis? Maybe even lengthening your belly button down towards your knees. And then rise up. Parallel your feet. Walk to the front of the mat. Maybe you notice one thing you feel. Tippy toe. Rise up on your tippy toes, arch, arch, arch. You could look up. Squeeze your inner ankles. Ooh, messiness welcome. Slowly lower dive into your tippy toe squat. Shift into your right foot. Take your left foot forwards. Left foot back. You can use your hands or not. Back knee to the earth. Shift back. Right toes up. Sit on your tucked left toe. Shift forwards, low lunge. Shift back. At your own time, cracky joints. Shift forwards. Get curious about moving in a way that your joints are a little more quiet. So maybe it's slowing down, noticing where you're engaging, noticing where you're not. Come on, forwards. Back set of toes tucked up into your high crescent. Arms up, cactus, your arms big, upper back bend. And then round forwards, bend your back knee. Cactus. Open the front of your neck, gaze up. Round, tuck, tailbone and head. Up and cactus. Neutralize, come into your warrior two. Reverse that warrior and then triangle form. Squeeze in through your inner legs. Reverse that warrior. Steady and strong through your lower body. Light and fluffy through your shoulders. Reverse. lift that inner arch of your back foot. Triangle. Lengthen your lower back. Come up, parallel your feet to the long left side of your mat. Forward fold. Your opportunity for a hand balance, maybe a crow, teddy bear, headstand to tripod, whatever you like. Maybe you notice one thing you feel, it could be your breathing. Come on, halfway up. Turn your left set of toes, left knee out, right toes up. Sink down. You can use your blocks to come into Skandasana seat. Side bend. Right arm might come across to the left shin. Come into that glorious side stretch wherever you are. You could think about your left knee opening to the left away from your chest. Come on up. It's your left knee to tap the earth and bring it back up and maybe open it a bit more into external rotation. Come on to the left outer foot. Tap down. Open it a little more. Tap down. Open a little more like that. Tap down and bring your right leg into external rotation. Point your toes. Come on up. Upper back coil. Slow lower tap, but don't sink your weight down into your hips. Coil your upper back. Tap down. So much activation through your legs. Lifting out of your low spine. Arcing. And lowering. Tap down. It's your right leg into pigeon. Your back leg long. Puffy chested pigeon. Press your back set of toenails down. And kiss the earth. Come on up. And kiss the earth. Such a strong right outer hip here. Come on up. Kiss the earth. Come on up. Right sit bone to the earth, back leg into the Z sit, right leg forwards. You can fold forwards from here, or maybe using your hands or not, come into your hanumanasana or split. And forward fold. Engage your legs, pull up your kneecaps, slide your inner legs right up into your pelvis. Come on up. Heavy in your right sit bone, back knee in, right leg into that Z sit. Left leg all the way around, cross at your ankles, your shins, or stack your shins. You can interlock your hands behind, forward fold. Up you come. Forward fold. All the way up. Forward fold. Come on up. Get your ankles to cross, left leg in front, outer feet strong. Use your hands or not, come up. Root your big toes. Arms can come up. Butt back, long belly, forward fold. So again, you could notice big toe presses, inner thighs lengthen, belly button feeds towards the knees. Get one size longer through your spine. And come all the way up. Parallel your feet. Step to the top of the mat. You could notice one thing you smell. Maybe it's your sweat. Tippy toes. Arcing, opening your chest, look up. Squat. Slow, lower. Okay, use your hands or not, right foot forwards. I'm just loving this transition. Back right up into your crescent. So adjust your feet there to come up into your crescent. Yeah, and then lower your right knee to the earth. And we're gonna spin so we face the long right edge of our mat and our right toes tuck behind us, okay? And then place your left foot down so your left toes point to the right side of your mat, hands across your chest. Root your left foot, create an extended side angle, long over your right knee, and take a breath. Press your left foot down more. Lift the inner arch of your left foot down more. Come on up. And then we'll side bend the other way, contracting that left side, opening that right side. Turn your bottom chest to the ceiling, and you can find a big opening through your top right arm. I like to do this without the rest onto my bottom arm, but you can take that if you want. Come on back up. Now, take that back tucked toe a little in towards the midline. So you're externally rotating this bottom leg a little. And then come up onto your left set of toes and start to balance. Whoa. Why is it that you're closer to the floor, but it's so much harder to balance? Really use the outer right hip here. Maybe you find some like fancy things like a big toe. Maybe you find a tree. Maybe you bring your foot forwards and find a karate kick. You could try to karate kick with your outer foot to the ceiling. You could catch opposite hand and knee or opposite hand and toe. Let it be messy. I'm feeling so much activation on my bottom leg. There's likely less proprioceptors in your knee than in your feet, so that's why you're recalibrating to find balance here. Okay, so lower that back down. Turn all the way around so that you face the shape of a lunge. Come high up into your high crescent, left foot forwards, right foot back. And step forwards through a standing split, back leg high. Then you can stay in your standing split. You can hold the back of your left calf for a little more hands-free balance. Some of you can pop up into your handstand here, play with it, take a breath, take a moment. And then lower your right leg to meet your left, forward fold. And come all the way up, your arms can come up. Release your hands. Yeah, other side. So you can come high up onto your tippy toes, arch, look up. Bend your knees, lower down, tippy toe squat. Left leg forwards, use your hands or not, all the way back into your high crescent. Find that. Glorious open chest, breathe into the back of your heart. Slowly lower your left knee to the floor. So if you're wearing shorts like me, this kind of exfoliates your knee. So you're gonna spin on your knee. I know, it's a bit much with shorts. So that your back set of toes is tucked and your right set of toes now faces the left long edge of your mat. Cross your arms in front. Extended side angle, so strong. Press into your right foot. Ground the outer edge of your foot. Lift the inner edge of your foot. Stamp your foot down more. Take a breath. Come on up into the center. And now over you go. Arcing right side down, left side long. Take a breath. Come on up, and then we'll take that left leg a little more to center, tuck toes, bring the right foot in. Use your outer left hip and find some balance. Is it different on this side? You don't have toes on your knee, so that's something. Use your arms like you're a tightrope walker, walking a slack line. Find some fancy kicks, maybe a tree. Maybe that forwards kick. Maybe that hi-ya kick with your outer foot forwards. Whatever you want, crisscross. Play with it. Let it be messy, have a little fun. And then right foot forward, spin on your back knee, chafe your back knee. And then come up into your high crescent and forwards into your standing split. Lift the back inner line of your leg, your back big toe. Pop up into a handstand if you want. Hold onto the back of your calf if you want. Forward fold when you're ready. Dangle. Now you might want to heel toe your feet a little wider, toes out, knees out. Start to come into a malasana squat. You might have your heels up, tippy toe squat. You could even roll up your mat a little and place your heels on your mat so that you're in that squat with your heels grounding onto something. You could walk your hands forwards here, let your fingertips come to the earth, get round. Some of you might interlock your hands around the back of your head and lower your elbows to the floor. You can come up and use your hands behind you or not to let your seat come down. Heels to the earth, roll down segmentally through your spine. Feet plant underneath your knees. Roll up into your bridge. You can take your shoulders a little more under you, hold your hips or interlock your hands and press the back side of your upper arm bones to the earth. If you like, flip your hands, come up into your wheel. Wish I could do that right now with you. Take a breath. What do you feel? Wherever you are, make space around your shoulders. Slowly lower your spine segmentally. Cross your arms over your chest and rock your knees side to side. Let your knees fall to the left. Some of you might grab your right ankle and tuck your toes so the toenail side is down, and then reach out through your right knee like a half hero. You can even reach out through your right arm. Into the center you go, untuck those toes. Windshield wiper your knees to the right. Some of you might grab your left set of toes, shoelace the side of your foot down, toenail side down, and reach your left knee to the earth. You could take your left arm over your head. Untuck those toes, come into the center, and you're welcome to find a constructive rest here where your feet are planted underneath your knees. You could open your arms, palms up. You could certainly outstretch your legs. Shavasana, final resting form, doesn't need to look one way, so you can even sit in a meditation and gradually let your body get a little more gravity fed. Land. Locate your pelvis, the back of your chest, the back of your head. Maybe let yourself land there a little more. With your eyes open, softly open here, letting the view come to you. What do you notice through your eyes? And then you can close your eyes if that feels right. And what do you hear? Feeling the back of your body continually finding its place on the earth. What do you feel? Maybe there's a taste or a smell. Or maybe there's one thing you're grateful for. You can stay here for as long as you like, as long as you have time for. You might feel like rolling towards the seat and closing your practice with Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. We can do it 2 times together if you like, or listen and let that sound seep into your relaxed body. Maybe hands together at your chest, your breath in. Your exhale. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace.